Hello, welcome to the Women's Supa Liga semi-final. We've just been informed that the audio has been off, so we have been commentating for the last 10 minutes, but unfortunately no one's been able to hear any of it. Today we have the Perth Pumas, starting from the start again. Perth Pumas in the pink kit against West Coast Cobras in the green kit. Score so far is 0-0. We've seen West Coast Cobras with a lot of possessions and a lot of good chances going forwards. I'll do the lineups again for both teams. We've got, for Perth Pumas, number 8, Abby Meekins, number 20, Shivani Battaglia, number 5, Jessica Jahn, number 15, Piper Boubier, number 3, Katie Ritchie, number 4, Jess Flannery. And for West Coast Cobras, we have number 1, Annie Leyland, number 12, Melissa Shepherd, number 32, Eleanor Bates, number 21, Taylor Reid, number 24, Quinn Dawn, number 29, Jana Ridley, and a good chance there for the West Coast Cobras. So we continue the list. Number 7, Marco Kant, number 13, Lily Cow. Next to me today is Thomas Ellis.
Jay gives those evil eyes. I'll probably take part of the blame for that, but sorry about the audio issue. At the start, it's been a pretty tight game so far. Like Jade said, we have been commentating and there's been a lot of tight chances from both teams. We've got John Goodlich on the bench as the Cobras coach. I think assistant Lou Cross. To the left of me, I've got Kevin Poncelli, who's the coach of the Pumas. Obviously, we've been talking about the game here and there, commentating as much as we can. But Jado, what are your thoughts on the game so far?
So far, I definitely think it's been looking a little bit West Coast Cobras dominant. I think the lack of subs for the Perth Pumas and the lack of experience through Chelsea Winchcombe and Zoe Spadano not being present today is showing just a little bit. But that's not to say that Perth Pumas have had no chances. They've had a few good counter-attacks and some chances to score. I like this one. Oh, unfortunately, doesn't find the run of Jessica Jahn. Ball from Abby Meekins.
Yeah, she took a slight niggle, Abby Meekins, just about 5 or 6 minutes ago. She's re-entered the court and she's a player that's going to have to put on the golden shoes today and fill in a couple of roles of players that they're missing.
Meekins. Boubier. The ball's just tapped out by Eleanor Bates. Good opportunity here for the Perth Pumas to go ahead. Oh, and it's a missed kick from Boubier. The counter now from the West Coast Cobras. Oh, and it's wasted by Jana Ridley. Sends it forwards to no one.
Oh, Katie Richards needing to take a touch.
Ritchie sends it forwards to Meekins. Meekins moving towards the centre of the court. Little layoff for Flannery, and that's a goal for the Perth Pumas. Have a quick replay of that one. Great little dribble by Meekins, and the little left foot shot from Flannery straight over the head of Annie Leyland. Perth Pumas find themselves up 1-0.
Oh, it's a lovely smart ball from Abby Meekins. A bit cheeky there.
Ridley with no one running past her. She's only got backwards options.
She hits Ridley in the middle. Bates, that is. She finds KO.
Bates again not making that run past Ridley so she can make a pass forwards.
Little too static there from the Cobras. You can see now with the Pumas unlucky there from Meekins. There's constant movement going on.
Oh, shot from Melissa Shepherd. Easily picked up by Battaglia.
Yeah. They're not the kind of goals you're going to score against Shivani.
No, very, very good goalkeeper. Another shot from Meekins.
Doan in that pivot role, tries to find KO and just needed to maybe hold it a little bit longer. Oh, Bates with the tackle on Richie. Bates still has the ball and Flannery does well. It's a touch off Mel Shepherd to give the possession to Perth Pumas, and Katie Ritchie just rushing a little bit.
Katie, next chance. Not yet, next chance. Step up on the lead.
Oh, KO tries to play through Richie, almost resulting in the second Pumas goal. Shot from Abby Meekins there, just right at the post. Bates looking forwards, looking for Shepherd. Oh, Shepherd's touch almost beats Jessica John. Taylor Reid back on the court for the West Coast Cobras side. Left foot shot from Bates.
Don't need to take that touch with the sole of her foot. Mistakes like that, which do happen.
Luckily for the Cobras, that's hit the post and come out.
That all came from that touch from Doan. It needs to be so precise. This isn't like junior anymore where it's you can get away with it. It's got to be sole of your foot and release.
Instructions to press from coach John Goodlich. Oh, and Bates definitely didn't need to take that touch. Ball was going to roll to Annie Leyland. John down the line for Flannery. Ball's across to Meekins. Meekins in the middle, and she's being tackled by Shepherd and Reid. Still keeps the ball.
Very
A little
well done.
flick with her heel.
That is very good footwork from Abby Meekins there. Holding the ball off 3 or 4 players and slowing that ball to Jess John, who just skies it over Bates and Shivani.
Timeout has just been called for the Perth Pumas. I dare say they just need to have a little bit of a rest. They've only got 1 sub on their bench. West Coast Cobras, I believe, have 3 subs. If you were Coach John Goodlich at the moment, Tom, what do you reckon you'd be saying to the West Coast Cobras right now?
To be honest, in a final like this, probably just to calm down, relax. There's still plenty of time. It's 1-0. The goals and the chances are definitely coming for the Cobras. But I think the constant need to rush is making lots of the Cobras players not think properly, do dumb things. And not to pinpoint, but, you know, like what Eleanor Bates just did then by just taking a stupid touch and kicking the ball out right near their goal. They just need to be calm and a bit more direct, and they'll start getting the results. They're definitely a good enough team to match the Pumas and potentially win. But they just need to be patient and understand that the goals will be coming. And maybe even just read that, you know, the Pumas only have 6 players. That's 1 sub, and it's quite a young team, I know, but they're going to get tired. You know, there's 3 subs on the bench for the Cobras.
Oh, and another missed kick from the West Coast Cobras. It's a handball. Here is a chance for the West Coast Cobras to put something on the scoreboard during this first half. We've got 4 minutes left, 2 minutes of regular time, 2 minutes of stop clock. Yes, I completely agree with you there, Tom. I think West Coast Cobras are making a lot of unforced errors. They're just trying to play the ball through defenders, making the wrong decisions at times.
Oh, Taylor Reid with a weird-ass shot. I don't even know what happened there. It kind of went through the legs of Richie.
Yeah, shot through the legs of the player, and Battaglia almost didn't have eyes on it for a second.
Both the coaches are off their seats now. Luke Ross and Johnny Goodlich. Johnny Goodlich also the coach of the men's A, who will be on the bench for the Cobra men this afternoon at 6:45. Make sure you're tuning in for the double-header day of finals. .305 reading on the court and the clock here.
Almost another goal for Taylor Reid. Another goal, I should say. Sorry. Another good shot from Taylor Reid. Richie gets around Reid. Flannery. Ridley just turns into her defender, giving the ball back to the Perth Pumas. That's good defending from Jana Ridley.
Oh, it's a lovely ball there, and Taylor Reid almost finds Mel Shepherd.
Just about to come up to the 2 minutes of stop clock in this first half.
Katie finds Meekins in the middle. Ends up back to Katie Ritchie, who tries to play to Bubia first time.
Can't on the court. Ridley has Shepherd. Oh, and she miskicks it. Cut out by Boubier. Shepherd does well to recover. Ridley. Shepherd in the middle for Kant. Kant does well holding the ball up, playing it out to Reid. Oh, and the
Reid.
ball from Reid to no one.
This is exactly what I just spoke about. It's just this unforced error stuff. It is only 1-0. If it was 6-0 to the Pumas, it's a completely different story. But and there we have it. It shows just from that have a slight bit of just patience, and it's actually kind of contradicted what I've said, but they've ended up with a lovely overload.
I'm not sure what our instant replay is showing. Yes, there
Tackle
is.
there from Charlotte. Mel Shepherd. And it's perfectly a goal that they need.
Alrighty.
Abby Meekins and a lovely block from Mel Shepherd. She's come from the halfway line to make that save.
Oh, and Richie just plays it behind John. Last, just under a minute left of this half. Boubier
To beat Khan.
looking for
Taylor Reid.
Meekins.
Oh, Boubier with good feet. She gets past Reid.
It's good strength by Reid, seeing the ball out. Winning possession through Annie Leyland. Ball's forward to Ridley. Oh, and Ridley just couldn't quite get her foot on the ball. A little bit of colourful language from Ridley. Taglia forwards, last 20 seconds. Meekins sends the ball out. A lot of instructions coming from the Cobras bench. Of excitement for Luke Ross and John Goodlich. Meekins high against Shepherd. Gets around her. Takes a shot.
Yeah.
Sends it
Excellent
wide.
instructions there from Kevin Poncelli. It's really smart coaching there.
Boubier pulls at Richie's feet, gets around Marco Khan. And that is the first half done. Goal scorers for that half were Perth Pumas number 4, Jess Flannery, and West Coast Cobras number 12, Melissa Shepherd. What do you think of the first half so far, Tom?
Oh, I think the game will change completely now. I think now it's even all. You're going to see some different characters, I think, come out of each squad. That rush, that impatience from the Cobras definitely caused them a lot and probably disrupted a lot of chances they could have had. But I think the Pumas now are starting to realise that they're a match and also that they are short on players as in comparison to the Cobras. So look, I think this game could go either way, and the Pumas are definitely, I think, going to put in everything to win this game. The Cobras obviously have that ability to make any subs if they need to. But look, it's been 2 weeks off. We've had Easter. It's interesting to always see how squads come back after a 2-week break like so. But yeah, what about you, Jado? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It was a little bit of a slow start for the Perth Pumas. It took them a good 10 minutes to really put themselves in the game. And I think once they picked up the pace a little bit, Cobras just started making those errors more often, and they were capitalising off them. I can't speak that word.
Categorising.
Capitalising
Capitalising.
off them more often. So definitely this game could go either way. I know the West Coast Cobras have practiced a lot of fifth man, and if it comes to it, I'm sure they won't hesitate to use it. The Perth Pumas, I'm not so sure about. I don't think they've played it that often throughout the season as far as I've seen. Or if they have, they would definitely have had Winchcombe or Spadano on the court.
Just reading some of the comments now. I'm reading Jacqueline's comment. I can't see her last name, but yeah. I will admit it was a bad choice of words, but it was just right in front of me where I kind of just couldn't. First thing that popped in mind. So it was a weird shot though from I think it was Taylor Reid.
Yeah, from our angle, it
Definitely looked odd. It just looked like it wasn't going anywhere near the goal, and then all of a sudden it snuck through someone's legs and it was there. And we're away now for our second half.
Well, that's a good ball from Reid to start off the half.
Taylor, great ball. Can you balance it? Can you balance Taylor, wait. Back post, Jada! Back post!
Almost being drowned out by the West Coast Cobras bench. Hard to get a word in with these boys right next to us. A bit of an apology coming from John Goodlich there.
Hey, don't all run away from that. Don't all run away from that. Where's that easy option?
It's a free kick for the West Coast Cobras taken by Eleanor Bates. Balls to Reid. Reid with a left foot shot. I think it was deflected off Jessica John for a corner kick. No, I could be wrong, sorry. It is Battaglia's ball from her hands. Boubier flicks past Kant, picked out by Bates. Kant and Ridley. Oh, and that's slight miss pass from Kant.
Wow.
Boubier. Ball's in the middle for Meekins. John sends it way over past Leyland. Oh, and Reid with the run.
Yes, well in. Drop off. Yeah, sit up halfway, go. So I spoke about it half-time. Yeah, let her have it. That's okay, let her have it.
West Coast Cobras dropping off at the moment, sitting, waiting for the Perth Pumas to make mistakes like has just occurred. Ball from Abby Meekins sent out. Perth Pumas on the other hand, pressing high. A ball over the top from Bates for Ridley. Picked up by Battaglia.
Work hard, Jada. You've got to get behind the ball.
Eleanor Bates to Ridley. Ball's back to Kant. Reid against Flattery. Oh, and it's picked up by Meekins with a left foot shot. And that's a great save from Annie Leyland.
Wow, what a save that was. That was a very, very good save. Wonderful reaction speed. And our Cobras on this break here. Oh, and Jana Ridley with some great footwork, and it's actually very unlucky that it's not ended up in her possession still.
Seeing a bit of an increase in energy from what we were just seeing in the first half so far.
Yeah, and that comes back to what I said before. It's just, it's going to be a completely different game now. It's a 1-1 draw in a semi-final. Early goals can depend on what the result will be. So I think everyone's fighting for the same thing at the moment, which is just coming out firing, not having that slow start like the first half was, and finishing with a bang.
Bates over the top, finds Ridley. Ridley flicks it for Reid. Can she keep it in? No. That'll be a Perth Pumas goalkeeper throw from Battaglia. Sends it to the feet of Meekins. That was a great throw by Battaglia with Meekins. I think John Goodlich is going to need a strepsil after this game, the amount of shoutings he's doing. He's definitely going to have a bit of a sore
He's
throat.
going to have to put a couple of dollars in the swear jar as well.
And the ball from KO across the face, cut out by Battaglia. Meekins doing an excellent job in that pivot position, just holding the ball up. Bates, ball's into Ridley. Little touch from Boubier, sends it back to KO. Oh, and KO runs it into Flannery. Richie on the right. Another great save from Leyland. Meekins against Ridley. Sends it wide for Flannery, and that's a great little 1-2.
Oh, it's a great interception from Katie Richley, who could have just had a shot, and that's why.
Bit of a dispute here as to whether Eleanor Bates passed that ball back to the hands of Annie Leyland.
I am very unsure about that.
It looked like she wasn't trying to pass it, but I can't imagine what else she would have been trying to do with it.
I don't know, I might actually disagree with you there, Jade. I think she may have just had a bit of a brain fog and just thought, oh, I'll pass the ball because I'm under pressure, and maybe it's just...
Oh, nice
ball.
flick. Oh, Ridley.
Drop off, Jada! Drop off, Jada! Drop!
And you can just hear it. This intensity has just risen so much.
Yes, that's a great interception by Bates. Ridley on, excellent ball for KO. Oh, and KO sends it wide. Boubier down the line to Ritchie, sends it back in the middle to Meekins. Has Flannery on the right. Flannery drives straight down the middle. Oh, nice little flick from Ritchie. And that's a second goal to the Perth Pumas. Excellent team goal. Hopefully this instant replay recorded, because that was a great goal from the Perth Pumas.
Very well constructed goal there. And that's it, just quick passing. And look, I say this a lot to lots of people I coach as well, and you know, it looks good when you do pretty futsal and you play all around the back and suck players in, and that's awesome. But if you can just drive and the space is there and get a small pass like that for a goal, that's equally as good. And that's exactly what the Pumas have just done.
It's now catch-ups for the West Coast Cobras. Going to have to push for a goal. They'd already picked up their intensity quite a bit just before that goal.
That is a wonderful tackle from Mel Shepherd. That ball has, in no way has that a foul. Mel Shepherd with keeping the ball for the, and that's what I mean, just using that space in front of her. She's got miles and meters of space in front of her and she hasn't driven into that. I need to stop complimenting Mel Shepherd, because every time I do it, ends up doing the worst.
And another
She's forcing the ball.
miscalculated pass from Mel Shepherd. Reed now. Oh, and she'd beaten the player and beaten two players actually and went backwards. KO stepping off the court and Doan back on. Leyland. Long ball forward looking for Doan, and Doan's just standing behind her player. This time she's in front. Oh, it's a good ball from Shepherd, unfortunately cut out by John. Reed and Doan do well to win it back. In the middle again for Doan. Little touch wide for Reed. Oh, and that's a great ball from Reed. It's an unlucky for the West Coast Cobras. Mel Shepherd just not quite getting to that back post in time.
Jana Ridley doing that pivot job really well. Plays to Doan. Doan needs to move now.
Cut out from Ritchie. Bates now, plays Doan. Cross to Reed. Has Doan on the left still, taking on Richie. Back to Bates, little flick in the middle for Doan. Doan lucky to get a little bounce off of Boubier back to her own feet. Shot from Bates, blocked by Meekins. Leyland. Doan against Boubier. Oh, and she gets it forwards to Ridley. Ridley's facing forwards. That's an excellent little ball through for the run of Doan. Unlucky for the West Coast Cobras.
I've heard John Goodrich say it a couple of times, but you can just see now, anytime Battaglia gets the ball, it's instantly look to play long, look to hit the pivot up top. You can see right now, there's only Jess John down there, and Abby Meekins is the player to just get in front, feed that ball off, keep possession. They're winning. They're up 2-1.
Timeouts called for the Perth Pumas now.
Now, what do we think of that, Jade? Perth Pumas are up 2-1. Is it weird or a waste from what Kevin's done to call that timeout?
Look, I think both teams had a lot of momentum coming up to that timeout. The West Coast Cobras starting to push really high and play really fast futsal. And I think that might be wearing out the Perth Pumas just a little bit as we come into the last 10 minutes of the match. Reminding again that they only have one sub. I think a few of them might actually be playing again in the B semi-final straight after this. So it's probably just trying to conserve legs at the moment and calm the game down. If I was the West Coast Cobras right now, though, I might be thinking about fifth man.
I think it would completely break the Pumas changing it up, and you've seen from other squads and teams that have done fifth man nice and early. It's often resulted in a good way, where teams think, oh, let's go fifth man in the last minute, and it doesn't really do too much to the game. You need to continuously play that system for a little bit longer than a minute for it to have an effect. So I agree with you, Jay. This will be the time for them to just completely start changing things up, doing anything they can to get a goal, reading the game a little bit more. Still some unforced errors. We saw a couple before from Mel Shepherd. Just everyone needs to be on the same page if Cobras want to start taking it to the next level and win this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think now would be the time to make a couple of changes for the West Coast Cobras. It's been a very even game so far, and you want to kind of unbalance that. Make sure that it's in your favour. Cobras are still not pressing either. Oh, and Shepherd's hit the deck. Flannery trying to get around Bates, finds Meekins. Oh, and Shepherd hits Bates. John gets around her. John now plays into Ridley. Oh, and gets around her. In the middle to Boubier, and that's a great save by Annie Leyland. Some very good reflexes.
Yeah, she's been doing very well today, Annie Leyland. Definitely keeping the Cobras in a tighter line than they would have been without her.
Bates, 1v1 against John. Battaglia comes out and sends it into the side of the net. Apologies if anyone can hear what John Goodrich is saying on his bench.
I don't think there's any young children watching, hopefully, so...
Just a few choice words being made over there.
Nice. Drop off, drop off.
Now Annie Leyland given the instruction to press.
Let it go.
Shepherd on the ball. Has Ridley up top. Ridley needs to get in front of John. Another stray ball from Melissa Shepherd.
Yeah, it's really not doing the Cobras any favours.
It's definitely not in her character. It's probably not the right word, but it's not the way she would normally play.
Yeah, look, I think she would, for me, be probably the best player on the court right now, or if not one of them. She's got the brains. She's played for a long time. She's got a lot of experience. She just needs to, I think, trust players and.
Apologies for the time not quite being correct. Just fixing that up for you now. Definitely, again, Tom's mistake.
I think you mean Tom Ellis's mistake.
Couldn't be
Just
me.
expose my whole name again.
Leyland slowing the ball, slowing the game down. Driving forwards now.
And here we
here
go.
we go.
Is that the change? They've played it really early. And I think that's a pretty big mistake there because Battaglia is. And I very much agree with what Luke Ross has just said to the squad. Just to be nice and patient.
Yes, that's an excellent ball and great shot from Dawn.
Quinn,
That's
Dawn.
Classic fifth man, ball straight down the line from Ridley in the middle for the run of Dawn. Oh, and another great shot. West Coast Cobras need to press now. A few players dropping off their man. Leyland moving up the court again. Doan. Shepherd. Bates. Oh, and that's a great ball from Bates. Yeah, good instructions from John Goodrich telling Mel Shepherd to step in front of Abby Meekins for the ball from Battaglia. We know exactly where it's going. Just need to step in front and make sure that she can't receive it at her feet.
It's a good win there from Jana Ridley. Mel Shepherd with some nice footwork. Diane slipping over as usual.
1-2.
Eleanor Bates plays across. Mel Shepherd over the top to Ridley. And I would be making some subs now, I think. Cobras. Jana Ridley looking pretty tired up top. Eleanor Bates and Quinn Doan both equally looking as tired.
Boubier, John. Cobras not pressing well as a team at the moment. Timeout being called by the West Coast Cobras.
No, I think I know. He cracks me up, Johnny Goodrich. He's saying everything correct with the squad. Speaking to the girls really well. Slight bit of urgency from Annie Leyland now as well, but transition to fifth man was quite good. Probably could have done that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I think earlier would have been better. You saw how it just completely changed the dynamic of the game. West Coast Cobras had 2 very good chances within about 30 seconds of each other.
Maybe we'll let the referees commentate next game, as we're hardly getting judged right now.
I think instructions from the Perth Pumas bench should be just to sit and absorb everything that the West Coast Cobras are throwing at them at the moment. They're up 2-1. It's not a super comfortable position to be in, but there is only 4 minutes left on the clock.
With some stop clock, that could easily be up to 6 minutes. We'll see how it goes.
And the whistle's been blown to call the players back onto the court. Resume the half. Ball's in Annie Leyland's hands.
And it's 5th man straight away, which is probably a wonderful thing.
A little bit, Taylor Reid and Eleanor Bates just standing a little bit high on the court there. Could definitely have taken more space for themselves.
I just think that the Cobras just need to play 5th man a little bit longer. Keep the ball, wait for the gaps to be on.
Bates.
Skip the flank, skip the flank.
Ball's across to Reid. That's some good patience there from Reid. Not forcing any passes. Oh, an excellent ball from Bates. Leyland, Reid with the shot, and she sends it left of the post.
Unlucky, unlucky. All right, try and get in front of her when you tackle her. Annie, you can sweep if it goes in behind. Sandwich her between you.
Taglia. Oh, and that's a free kick given away by Shepherd. Little push in the back on Meekins.
A dumb free kick as well. Mel just got in front there. There would have been no issue, which I think I definitely heard John Goodlich say to Mel a couple of moments ago. Oh, it's a mistake there by Bouvier. Meekins does very well to recover the mistake. It's gone to Bouvier, out to John. Lovely flick from John. Into Richie, outside the boot, straight to Bouvier. This will be a wonderful team goal if this is in. Mel Shepherd once again with a wonderful tackle.
They've got a 3v2 at the moment.
Oh, and Eleanor Bates is there.
West Coast Cobras bringing the score back to even as we're just about to enter the 2 minutes of stop clock. If this game ends on 2-2, I believe it is 2.5 minutes extra time. 2 minutes extra time, golden goal. Then after that, it will be a penalty shootout. Just see if we can actually wait till the ball goes out, and we'll try and watch that replay.
Yeah, mate, Jado, what a minute that was.
Just quickly try and watch that replay of that goal. Hopefully we don't miss another goal.
Same again, same again. No, just balance, don't go forward.
Ridley on the side ball.
5 meters, that can be a lot more space.
Bates with the left foot shot. I think that might be a corner ball for the West Coast Cobras.
Ellie, yeah, you balance now. Jamie, back post. Back post. Roll it off the line, Taylor. Nice.
We're just in stop clock. Now, Battaglia. Oh, and Battaglia plays short. They finally stepped in front of Meekins, giving them a chance to win the ball higher. Shepherd on the ball. Ridley sends it back to Shepherd.
I mean, I'd be going 5th man still with the Cobras now if I were Cobras. I don't see an issue. Mel Shepherd does well to get in front.
Bit of a dispute from the Pumas bench about that screen run from, I believe it was Taylor Reid. Oh, and Taylor Reid gives it to the feet of Meekins, and Bouvier with time and space. That's a great tackle by Reid.
And I would actually not be I wouldn't be unhappy if this went to penalties or extra time. I think this game...
Yeah, I think that, you know, a 2-2 finish to this game is very fair. It's been even throughout.
Taylor, quick up.
Maybe just a section in the very, very first minutes. where Cobras were looking a little bit more dominant. But ever since Perth Pumas scored their first goal, it's been neck and neck. Oh, Taylor Reid letting her runner go. Oh, the mistakes you really don't want to be making.
Picked the ball up straight away and gone. And she's played it straight to the Pumas, and she's very lucky that...
Yeah, a little bit of panic from Flannery. Saved Annie Leyland on that occasion. She just sent it to the wrong spot on the court. Oh, that's a great ball to Reid, and Reid has Ridley at the back post.
Annie, Taylor, switch. Switch with Taylor. Taylor, come to the back.
Oh, unless something really drastic happens here, I think we could have a 2-2 draw.
Anything can happen in the last 20 seconds.
Lovely ball in. Haney's done well, so is Leyland.
Oh, and the
Bates
ball's-
is there. Oh, and Shepherd
Shepherd.
making sure that ball is going nowhere near her own net. But this is also a very dangerous position for the Pumas. Oh, and it's just been a rush ball from Jess Jarlin.
Pressing high from the Perth Pumas. Down to the last crucial seconds of this match. Over the top to Taylor Reid.
Wow.
Taylor Reid puts the West Coast Cobras ahead with only 4 seconds remaining on the clock. Unfortunately, our clock doesn't reflect that.
And sorry, I'm just watching the court at the moment, a little bit blown away.
Perth Pumas have not been in a behind position at any point in this game. Just quickly watch the replay of that last winning goal. Oh, and we've only caught the celebration. It was an excellent game to kick off the Women's Supa Liga semi-finals. The second semi-final will be on Monday night between the Northern Hawks and the Western Devils. So we'll find out then who the West Coast Cobras will be playing against next week in the grand final. Great effort from the Perth Pumas side. Very young side, only had one sub, missing a few key players, and they kept themselves ahead for the majority of that match.
Yeah, and I was almost certain that game, was going to end in a draw, but like you exactly said, I think a couple of seconds before the goal happened, anything really can happen in games like this. And Holy Moly was that a good game to watch and commentate. Well, half commentate for the first half, considering the mic was fully off.
Yeah, our apologies, guys. We will be better for the next semi-final coming up at 6:15, I believe. Tom Ellis, I'm looking at you for some clarification.
Sorry, I'm just reading some comments, and I believe Amanda Lynch has said Judd would like to hear more special comments from Goody. And I actually did forget Judd was probably a regular watcher of the live streams of Supa Liga. Anyway, we will leave you to it. Thank you, Jade. Thank you very much for tuning in for our semi-final and one of our first for the weekend and final series. We do have another men's Supa Liga A final at 6:15, and it is a double header. The same teams, Pumas vs Cobras, leading the results from the last couple of weeks. The Pumas did get quite embarrassingly 6-0'd by the Cobras 2 or 3 weeks ago, so this game will be a very interesting one, and I'm sure Jade and I will see you then.